But we start out the program, Jay Paul, our director, if we can meet our special guest who comes to us regularly but not often enough. Brent McKinney is Executive Director of PART. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Good to be on the program.
Good to see you. You've just made some proposals that have been in the news. People have seen it in the newspaper. Proposals on changes to bus routes, the PART bus routes. What kind of changes do you want, and why are they needed?
From time to time, we do an assessment of our service. We have just completed a study. Some of our routes that we have in service have ridership that doesn't quite measure up. We know that we have some routes where we have over 100% occupancy, people standing up. We're looking to make some adjustments, move those vehicles from the routes that are not carrying
that makes sense.
A lot of riders and put them on those where we need them. So yeah. That's what we've just completed.
Now, I believe there's a public hearing coming up on April 10th at the PART office. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess I'm wondering what's the purpose of that? Because what you said just now makes perfect sense to me. We're going to make some adjustments and do this and that. Why have a public hearing?
Policies and procedures for public agencies require public input. We have all of our adjustments out, advertised, being promoted, receiving comments from the public right now. But then on that public hearing day, be one last opportunity for coming to make a personal appeal, present their thoughts and comments, and our board does need to take action on that.
So if I'm in one of if I'm in one of the areas that is going to get cut a little bit because the ridership wasn't as great as another area, I might come in and say, gee, you know, Mr. McKinney, can't you save that route or something? So that's a chance for me to stand up and say something.
Exactly right, and they're already beginning to line up.
All right, now in advance of that meeting, it might be kind of appropriate to go over some things that I always like to do a little, you know, myth busting is what I call it. So I'm going to throw out a few things and you react to it and dispel the myths. Okay. Here's myth number one. PART is funded by property taxes, and it yields no return to taxpayers.
The correct answer is that PART is not supported by any property taxes at all. The funding for PART comes from a federal and state grant for capital investments. That's to purchase the vehicles. To operate the vehicles comes a little bit of funding back from the state to help with operations, and then we have a 5% tax on the gross receipts from rental vehicles in our region, and that's how our operating funds come.
And then the state funds that you're referring to would be a Department of Transportation generated, right?
Right. It's about $800,000, and from the 5% tax on rental cars, it's about 2.3, and that's what we have been able to provide these services with.
And then sometimes you hear people out there saying when they get information, they say, well, I hear that PART is trying to raise my taxes anyway. True or false?
Well, not exactly true. However, when PART was created by general statutes in 1997, we were given two options to raise some funds to support the service. One was the 5% tax on rental vehicles, and the other was an annual license fee. It could go up to, at that time, $5, and the General Assembly has since increased it to $8.
Talking about the driver's license, so when you register
No,
that.
it's actually the tag on
okay.
the vehicle.
Okay.
So when you renew that, there could be a fee on there that would support public transportation. In our region, Randolph County is the only county that has used that, and they did so in $1 per year for that. But we're at the point where the vehicle rental tax will not sustain our operation, so we do have a proposal out there that we'll be making to our board the next time they meet for us to consider a $3 annual license fee.
And get on board the way Randolph did.
Get on board the way Randolph did, get on board the way that Triangle Transit does, Charlotte, and other areas. You need some money to support these.
We have about 30 seconds left. Very quickly, a lot of international unrest. We've had some natural disasters. I know you've preached the thing about reducing dependency on foreign oil. How can PART help with all this?
Let's use public transportation, let's carpool, let's van pool, let's ride share, let's reduce our dependence on that foreign oil. It's going to continue to go up, and that's where our money is going once it leaves the United States.
Good investment, PART, a good investment. Here's the website up on screen, www.partnc.org, and you stay away too long. Come back sooner next time.
I'll be back.
All right. Brent McKinney. We'll be right back.